Hi everyone, my name is May and I have been studying at Ohlone for almost 3 years, and this is my lesson assigned Ohlone. And I'm majoring in electrical engineering, and this video is for one of my engineering assignments. In this video, I would like to talk about one of the most popular test instruments, which is called a multimeters or multi-tester. And there are two variables called analog and digital one. There are different types of meter called analog volt or milliammeter called VOM, and digital multimeter and moving coil meter. I believe some of you may know about what is multimeters and how does it work. So I would like to discuss more about the multimeter in detail. And multimeters or multi-tester is an electronic measuring instrument that combines several measurement functions in one unit. A typical multimeter can measure voltage, current, and resistance. Now, I would like to talk about a multimeter and the difference between the analog multimeter and digital multimeter. I will go over each in detail. Okay, I would like to talk about analog multimeter first. This type of multimeters contain a moving coil meter, accelerator switch, and can be passive or active. The analog multimeter has a screw to adjust the zero position. This needs to be done regularly in accordance with the user manual. The analog multimeter has printed scale with a fine pointer. When reading the meter, your eye needs to be at right angle to the plane of the meter. Otherwise, you will get a parallax error. A parallax error is a reading error caused when you're reading the scale from the wrong angle, not the 19 degree to the plane of the meter. To minimize the parallax and errors on the scale allow you to make an accurate reading, simply move your head left or right until you cannot see the pointer reflections. Then the reading will be accurate. An analog multimeter has a lower input impedance than the digital multimeter, but can take continuous readings or changing voltage or currents. The needle magnetism is damped, but any signal that changes up to 10 times a second can easily be displayed. They are impact and portable instruments and widely used in electronics. I believe now you know what is analog multimeter. Now I would like to go over digital multimeter. Digital multimeters, often abbreviated DMM, has a LED display, commonly 3 or 4 digits wide. However, there are some bench model with 5 or 6 digits resolutions. Some have a multi function selector switch or push button to select the ranges, but auto ranges types are also available. Some DMM have a whole and max or minimum buttons that can capture the maximum and minimum value of a changing signal. There is no mistaking the reading from a DMM, and they do not rely on calibration. The DMM is capable of measuring AC and DC voltage, AC and DC current, resistance, conductance, decibel. Often a DMM has more features than an analog meter, such as frequency, capacitance, inductance, temperatures, and transistor current gain. The input impedance is also very high and has little effect on loading the circuit. Precise reading can be taken easily. A DMM uses a very fast analog to digital converter to take sample to the input signal and convert it to the readable format on the LCD display. Although the analog to digital converters can be very fast, your eye cannot keep up with the rate at which the LCD display will be updated. For a reason, there is a trade-off between a sample range and display range, which usually slows down to a few readings per second. I believe now you know both what is digital meter and analog multimeter. Now, I would like to compare these two to get to know more about the accuracy, input impedance, and variance signal. For accuracy, analog multimeter have a typical accuracy of 5%, but care has to be taken when readings to apply parallax error. As the meter ages, The magnetism in the coin degrade, which also affect the accuracy. A digital multimeter accuracy is 3%, but very easy to read and no adjustment are necessary. These figures are typical but vary between the manufacturers and model. A model top of the range diamonds can have an accuracy as high as 0.5%. For input impedance, the input impedance of the analog multimeter is measured in ohm per volt. This varies for different ranges and can have a shunted effect on the circuits being measured. A diamond input impedance is higher and constant across the voltage range. For current measuring, both analog and digital multimeter use a shunt resistor. This needs to be as low as possible so as not to affect the current multimeter. For varying signal, if you have a voltage or current or resistance that continually change, then a diamond will vary its reading on the display. Although the ADC on the digital multimeter is capable of very fast reading, your eye will not read the display at this speed, so the readings are slow to a few readings per second. An analog meter is much faster and easily capable of reading signal at 50 times per second. However, due to the inertia of the meter needle, the reading will not be great accuracy. If the signal changes faster than this, then oscilloscope is required. So I believe that you know what is the comparison between the digital and analog multimeter. In my opinion, the digital multimeter is the best choice for accuracy in reading and the user-friendly and very easy to reading. So, and many functions that can be used in one device. This is a simple multimeter reading. So they have a voltage, resistor, and the battery. Now this is using the multimeter to read a voltage across the circuit. This is a digital multimeter block diagram. For example, like current to voltage converter changes to send it to rectifier circuit, and then it's gonna be changing from analog to digital converter, and the digital display will show as a digit number. This photo shows about how to test a good multimeter. So you can simply touch the probe together and read the signal in ohm. So if you have like a low resistance indication, that's a good fuse. And if you have like high resistance indication, it's a blown fuse. So make sure to check before you use a multimeter. Now let's talk about what do the symbol on a multimeter means. Okay, for the left hand side, you can see a digital multimeter. So you will have a slide switch on and off, and you will have a voltage variable, so you can choose any voltage you want, and you can have a current range, so you can simply rotate and pick what range you want. And on the right side, you have a resistor range, so you can simply just tend to the area, so you can simply find the resistance value. In the square bar, you can see the numerical value of voltage, milliamperes, and ohm depends on your choice. Under it, you have a plus prong here to measure the milliamperes and ground port either. On the right hand side picture, this is a analog multimeter, so you will have a mirror scale and the needle to show the value, and you will have the voltage, ohm, and currents, same as the digital multimeter. And you will have a DC input and the output and the ground and the ohms voltage input. Okay, now simply you know what does it mean, the symptom means in both multimeter. There are even two styles of digital multimeter. The first one is switch. So you can manually switch between range to get the most accurate readings. And the second one is auto range. So you only have a voltage, so you can pick like what range you want. So it will show that automatically for the best reading. But both of these styles work for the same value accuracy as well. In this slide, I would like to talk about how to measure a resistor in its own. So you can simply measure the resistor by touching each anode and cathode by red color in anode and black color in the cathode. So you can simply turn the on so you can find the resistor value. Another one is also the same thing like before. So to measure a current of the battery, just take each end of the probe to the battery end, and you can simply turn the switch button to the ampere. So you can find the milliampere value of the battery. To measure the voltage, for example, like a light bulb of the circuit, you can find the voltage of the circuit, and you can also find the voltage of the battery, and you can also find the whole circuit in the voltage of the battery as well. So the next one is a digital multimeter photo. It shows like a DC voltage. It can measure up to 1000 volt, maybe measure that, and AC volt up to 750 volts can be measured. And DC 200 and 2000 U is very small value for ampere. And the next one is DC 20 and 200 milliampere is also a small values for ampere. And the DC 10 ampere is the largest value for amperes this measure can read. There is also a port for the RES testing lab plugin and the blast test lab plugin. The next one is how to check the capacitor by using the either digital multimeters or the analog multimeter. Most of you all know that electrical engineers and electricians use a multimeter to measure the voltage. Yes, of course, the multimeter is like a important tool for all the engineer as well. This photo is most of the electrician use to check the circuits both by multimeters. So I believe the multimeter is the important tool for all of the industry as well. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you all enjoy watching my video and get to know more about multimeter. Have a wonderful day.